because I don't need to hide in the shadows. I don't need to attack from behind. Shayna, you can bring Mary and Jessica with you if it makes you feel safe. But I am on your show, in your ring, under your lights. What are you gonna do about it?
Welcome back, everybody, to the War Report. I'm your co-host, Murjani. We're both on the East Coast, so I guess we're relatively close. My man Cyrus, what's going on, Cyrus?
Oh man, I'm doing pretty good. It's been an eventful week in wrestling, so that's all good with me, and I'm super stoked for Survivor Series this weekend.
Yeah, it's our first NXT takeover that we're covering for the War Report. That's pretty dope. And it's the fact that it's War Games too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the UK pay-per-view is coming up too, so we're gonna do that. Are we gonna do that? I'm not sure.
We'll talk about if you want to. I think it's
the card is looking
sure all right. You know.
Yeah. I'll be watching the pay-per-view for sure.
So before we get into both of the shows and a NXT show that was madness, and the fact that a lot of people, including myself, I think Cyrus too, thinks it's one of the best NXT shows, not only for a while but like maybe ever. We got two pieces of news that we want to go into. So it's another day. It's another Jim Cornette controversy. So on the 7th episode of NWA Powerrr, Jim Cornette, surprise, surprise, said something really derogatory. It was during a match between Nick Aldis and Trevor Murdoch. He actually said it in reference to Trevor Murdoch. He said, the quote is, "He's the only man I've ever known that could strap a bucket of fried chicken on his back and ride a motor scooter across Ethiopia." Somebody actually pulled a video on Twitter, and he said this back in the 90s, and what would be WWF, now WWE. NWA came out and apologized. Nick Aldis came out and apologized. They actually pulled the episode down and edited out the quote. And then a day later, it said that Jim Cornette resigned. I don't think it was a resignation. I think they were gently pushing him out. This is not the first time he's said something really that ruffled people's feathers. Look at, the things he said about Joey Janela. Look at the things he said about Kenny Omega, or if he calls him Kenny Olivier. Look at the things he says about the Young Bucks all the time. Orange Cassidy. So what do you think about this in terms of NWA and Jim Cornette?
As far as Jim Cornette, I don't really care what it does to his character. But for NWA Powerrr, like just a couple weeks ago, I think like 4 weeks ago, I was saying that NWA Powerrr was like the true alternative. And I still think it is, but like now that it has like this, this stigma around it, like I don't think many people are going to check it out, and that's a real shame. Jim Cornette did them a great disservice, and I do think it's good on them for acting fairly fast on the whole situation. I saw people say that Powerrr is pre-taped, so like they could have edited it out. I feel like it definitely should have been edited out before the VOD got up.
Yeah,
but NWA Powerrr does get streamed on YouTube, so that's like where the quote kind of like got through editing. Jim Cornette could say whatever he wants. He's probably going to double down. They pushed him out fairly fast. I just think it's a real shame for NWA Powerrr, because it is a good show, but now it's just going to be that show.
Jim Cornette is known for doing this. Like he said on this podcast that something about Emi Sakura, he called her something like fat, sloppy, middle-aged Margaret Cho. He always calls Joey Janela like Jelly Janela or Jelly Nutella.
Yeah. What he said about Jimmy Havoc and Kenny Omega is probably like some of the most disrespectful things I ever heard.
Especially like when like insinuating that Kenny Omega had like a relationship with Riho, and that's the only reason why she has the title. That's, I mean,
like AEW is all for nepotism, but like I'm not going that far into like saying anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in terms of wrestling and basically like the wrestling basics of like face and heel, he probably knows more wrestling than a lot of people. Well, he's forgotten more wrestling than a lot of people have learned, but his view on basically new age wrestling is just way back in the Stone Ages. I don't know. I don't agree with a lot of things he says, like especially like the personal attacks. I think with like wrestling today, there is a place for like an ALW, an NXT, or WWE. There are places for wrestlers like, you know, if you like Jimmy Havoc or if you like Orange Cassidy, which I mean, I think Orange Cassidy is dope. You know, or you know, if you like Joey Ryan, it was just another target of his. You know, like there's something for everybody in wrestling now. Like wrestling is not 1990 where people were expected to like live their personas. We all know that like these wrestlers are real people outside. Like, you know, Mark Calloway is not walking around a graveyard.
You know, cemetery.
You know? So, like, yeah, like I said, another day, another Jim Cornette controversy. And I'm pretty sure that he's going to double down. So, you know. Yeah.
When he's probably recording his podcast right now, ready to get wild.
Probably yelling, you know, like, and I don't know. I'm not going to listen to it, but I'm sure I'm going to hear about it. Some more piece of news that dropped last night. I was actually really shocked by this. Jordan Miles, otherwise known as ACH, he was granted his release by the WWE. Yeah, shocked. I'm shocked that they granted anybody releases. This is, I think, days after that he quit. He's actually scheduled. He didn't waste any time. He's actually scheduled to work an indie show tonight, and I think another one December 1st. It's unfortunate how everything about this went down because they were really going to push him. So, what are your thoughts on ACH now? You know, being free and being free to sign anywhere else.
How'd you do it? You know, like that's the big mystery to me. Is like, how'd you do it? Especially with like what is it? The non-compete clause. Like, you know, he got released from the WWE and he's having like a match tomorrow. You know, hopefully he's hopefully like, you know, outside of WWE's care that he's getting the help that he needs, or, you know, anything. I just think this is a real shame because they were pushing him to the moon. You know, like it definitely could have been him at War Games. You know, probably been the fourth man, or, you know, we probably could have seen him on SmackDown. You know, during the Invasion, or, you know, just a part of a Survivor Series altogether. But if this is the route he wants to take, then go off, King, for the culture. He says he wants to take Cedric Alexander with him. I guess, man.
Yeah, I thought this was kind of best for both parties. You know, like I think it was we've all said that, you know, the shirt was unacceptable. You know what I mean? Like we said that, but some of us have not been cool with the way like ACH just handled it. But I think first and foremost, I hope that he gets the help that he needs. Like, it looks like he's going through some stuff. So, like, I hope that he's right, you know, emotionally, mentally. Maybe I thought he would have, like, taken a little bit time off, but I could see how he, you know, like, he wants to get back to wrestling. So, this in particular, you know, maybe him and Paul, or maybe him and Vince, because he's still tweeted Vince. That's something that, they can't really work out. They can't really talk about. I look at him as going back to New Japan. I think they really need help in that junior tag division, especially like with the lines being blurred with like Shingo and Will Ospreay. Them going against heavyweights. I think that he would fit well there. It's unfortunate because he was the NXT Breakout Tournament champion. He got a title shot, but like unfortunately, things always don't work out.
Things just went awry. If he goes back to New Japan, cool. If he's a part of Wrestle Kingdom, cool. But at this point, hopefully we see ACH come back, or he just gets better.
Yeah, maybe he should tell Luke Harper his ways, because Luke Harper has been trying to get his release forever.
Yeah, tell Mike Bennett too. I want to see his ass.
Mike Bennett, Sin Cara, tell them.
Yeah.
So let's get into the shows real fast. The War Report and the A Show actually came together this week. Take a listen to that episode. We gave our NXT TakeOver, War Games, and Survivor Series prediction picks. So take a listen to that episode. We'll go into ALW Dynamite and touch a little bit on Dark first. So Britt Baker, who is the workhorse of this women's division, she had a dark match with Riho versus Big Swole and Chris Statlander. And then on Dynamite, she had a singles match with Hikaru Shida. Britt is, listen, for her credit and like for her criticisms, they put her on TV a lot. You know what I mean? Like a lot.
Yeah.
But the problem I had with Dark is like Riho, Britt's the number one contender, and Riho's the championship, but she's on Dark.
Riho should not be on Dark. I don't think any of the champions should really be on Dark ever. I'm really cool for Britt Baker to be, the workhorse of the division, despite all the criticism she gets. I'm really sad that they're not continuing the feud with B. Priestley, but I think she was in Stardom because she was in the finals for the tag tournament over there. But yeah, man, Britt Baker and Hikaru Shida have been putting just the women's division on their back on Dark when they should be on the main show, which they are this week, but like for a majority of this whole build up to a number one contender, it's just been strictly on Dark, and I have an issue with that.
What do you think about Big Swole and Chris Statlander? A lot of people were raving about Statlander this week. I think they should immediately sign her. Big Swole is signed to ALW.
Yeah.
So, like, what do you think about them in that tag match? And Big Swole against Hikaru Shida, because she was also in the Dark match, too.
Yeah, Big Swole also just like another, she's becoming another workhorse. Like her, Britt Baker, and Hikaru Shida has just been going crazy on the women's division so far. I like Chris Statlander a lot. Hopefully they can, I don't know, maybe I would like to see more matches with her, like probably see what she could do with Nyla Rose or Jamie Hayter. Hopefully she doesn't like eat a back fist to what's her name?
Oh man,
to Aja Kong.
Yeah, hopefully not. It's funny because they actually booked Riho from behind in the tag match. Like she wasn't the Haas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was pretty cool. The Hikaru Shida and Britt Baker match, that was kind of one of the best she looked at in singles matches. But she took the loss, which I think was the right move for that. And I mean, I think Hikaru Shida now, the standings haven't come out, but I think she's number one contender to Riho. So the story there is that
without a doubt,
Shida lost to Riho initially to get that chance to fight for the title, and it looks like they're going to fight each other again. which I think is going to be cool. Like, I call her Shooter Sheeta because those knees, they look like they really hurt.
Oh, yeah. Those knees are certainly, like, they hold weight.
So Dark had another fast start. Nick Jackson and Ray Phoenix. I thought that match was really cool. I thought it was really fast paced. Brief thoughts on that?
I don't really have much thoughts on it. I thought it was a really good match. It's like the same like Young Bucks, Lucha Bro stuff is just without a hot tag. You know, I do think Nick Jackson and Phoenix are the better singles competitors on each individual team. So I wasn't surprised that the match was going to be the way it was.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, they're going to give us every single combination of Bucks and Lucha Brothers. Now they're giving them in singles. So
yeah.
We had the 12-man Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal, and depending on who you ask in commentary, the ring's either 6 carats or 6 to 8 carats. It is either different from either Excalibur or JR. So we had Adam Page, Chuck Taylor, Kip Sabian, Jimmy Havoc, Jungle Boy, Pentagon, Sonny Kiss, Marco Stunt, Joey Janela, MJF, and Orange Cassidy, and Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn, who was working as the big hoss in this match.
When you had Warlow just debut last week, I definitely think he could have been in this match. I don't think it would have hurt him to like really lose in a battle royale.
There were some storyline threads. Joey Janela basically got hit with a chair from friend of the A Show, Sean Spears. We basically had like a spot where Jimmy Havoc went and staple gunned everybody before he left.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what is that? Like, where's security? I don't know. You also had Kip Sabian. He had the little like interactions with Penelope Ford. I don't know if they're doing something with Joey there because he already has a few.
Hopefully they're not doing something there that's too close to home.
So MJF basically, it was another thread that he did in the other battle royal where he's like eliminating all the popular people. Then it was down to Jungle Boy and Adam Page. So we thought. And then MJF came from out of the ring to eliminate Jungle Boy. So next week for the ring, or I guess whatever maybe they consider this the mid-card title, it's going to be MJF and Adam Page. Your thoughts on the Battle Royal?
I think I'm not sure how I feel about Billy Gunn being there, but it popped the crowd, so that was cool. Orange Cassidy, I'm telling you, this joke is gonna run old pretty quick.
Yeah, that's gonna they're gonna have to do something else because that you can only do that so much.
I'm gonna say personally, I think I'm over it. When I saw him have the interaction with Billy Gunn, I was just like, I just kind of like don't care. My eyes like just averted the screen and I started looking at my phone. Like, I don't think anything really is going to happen there. I think MJF getting the win, being in the final two is cool. I don't like Adam Page being there. You got to stop the experiment. People just not really rocking with it. Like, people just aren't fully behind Adam Page, man. But nepotism always wins. I definitely think it should have been Jungle Boy and MJF here.
I think it should have been Jungle Boy too. I mean, I'm a little bit easier on Hangman Page because they are trying with him, but I think that I don't know. Like when it comes down to the ring next week, I think MJF should win. I think MJF should capitalize off the Cody story and the stuff with Wardlow, and I think that he he should definitely get it. You know, like if Adam Page wins, then it's like, okay, where does he go? You know, like what do you do with it?
Like, and even if Cody interferes in the match to aid Adam Page, like Warlow is there, I think he's going to be the equalizer that that grants MJF the win. Do I think Adam Page and MJF will have a good match? I don't know, man.
I've admittedly have not seen a lot of MJF wrestling, so I don't even know.
Man, everybody always talks about his mic work, never his in-ring work. So that tells me enough.
Yeah, so it looks like we'll find out about that next week. Everybody remember Chris Jericho teased a big announcement, and that's basically that in Chicago he's going to have a big celebration and have the VPs or AOW finally give his thank you. He apologized for the tantrum losing to Scorpio Sky. This led to an interaction with SCU and Scorpio Sky, basically Jedi mind tricking him into not only having a singles match, but a match for the title next week. I thought Scorpio Sky was funny here. He got the crowd behind him. Chris Jericho, I mean, he did his usually silly heel stuff before. The Inner Circle just basically beat up everybody. That was it.
That's how most of his segments go. I like Scorpio Sky showing his his personality here. I think he's a charismatic person. I think he's funny as well. Like all the way back to like the first episode with the Obama stuff. Like that still makes me laugh. I thought Chris Jericho was going to announce the cruise thing, but this is better, I guess.
I think
it's going to be on television, so I think that's more important than like whatever I say.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think their Miami show was part of the cruise, so he'll probably announce it and
I'll be
announce
there
in December. I think you're going, so like we'll have a live report from the War Report from ALW because I think you're going to that show.
Right on the front lines, baby. NXT, come over, please have a taping here. I would definitely show up.
So Kenny Omega also had a promo basically with Michael Nakazawa, saying that he's not been the same. And he hasn't been. Like, look where he's been. In January he had the New Japan World Title. He's going against the Ace Tanahashi in Wrestle Kingdom, and now look at basically where Kenny is now. So
doing death matches.
Now he's doing death matches and stuff. It was weird because it was like him trying to get back, and he's hyping up the match that gets popped next week, but it's also like a comedy spot. Like, I was just like, what are you trying to say?
Kenny is trying to keep this serious tone, but, can't help himself into being somebody that's just goofy. I guess if that's the character he wants to be, that's cool, but he even says he's not known as a promo guy, but I thought that was funny. But
very meta.
I don't know what this... Yeah, super meta, but... I don't know what this means for Kenny Omega's character. Is he going back to the super serious wrestler, the cleaner, whatever? Because if he's going to go back to that, man, I don't think he's in this in the landscape to be having those 5-star matches like he used to. I definitely think him going back to the cleaner is going to be interesting when he cross paths with Jon Moxley again. Because they might actually chain wrestle this time, and then it'll count for a win-loss record, and it might be the deciding factor for who's going to be number one contender for the AEW Championship. Yeah,
I think that basically with crowd reaction, and I think Moxley should be the guy. I think that Moxley, AOW loves him. You know what I mean? I think he does the Stone Cold Steve Austin thing a little too much, but he, you know what I mean? He's built
himself. Love that.
Yeah, but he is building up like this like fan reaction, and like the fact that he's unscripted and like he flips off like management. I think that he has that real badass quality to him. So like if you wanted to build up a face to basically fight Jericho down the line, I think that he's it. I'm not sure if it's Kenny right away. I'm not even sure where they're going with Kenny, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah. I have no idea where Kenny is going, especially if he's gonna go back into the cleaner like. But it is what it is. The men's division really needs a lot of work, and I think Kenny Omega can help out.
To round out like ALW stuff, we had Private Party and Pride and Powerful. It was a tribute to Matt Travis. I thought this match was okay. I thought it was missing another gear that they could have went into, and we had another ref botch. Where it looks like he was supposed to count 3, but didn't.
What's funny is like WWE definitely would have let it slide, and then people will go on Twitter and be like, "Oh, he wasn't the legal man," blah blah blah. But it wouldn't matter because the match ended, and it didn't look silly when everybody came to a complete halt. It was just like, what happened?
Yeah, I think that you basically got to count to 3 and just kind of let it rock there. You know what I mean? Like, because it was weird because like everybody's looking at the ref, and then he's like went to the outside because I think Santana was supposed to do like interference, but maybe he didn't get there.
And that's probably where the third gear got missing. Or went missing, sorry.
Yeah, Private Party gets the win here. I'm not so Pride and Powerful are no longer undefeated. It's a big win for Private Party, but I don't know if Pride and Powerful, I don't know if they should have lost here. I don't know if maybe they lose in a pay-per-view, but it just felt like, like you've been building up this team, and then for them to take the loss is kind of uneventful.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. Like AEW always has this weird issue where they kind of just they don't do stuff at the correct time, and this is just another example of it. Definitely should have saved that for a pay-per-view.
So main event: Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley. I really liked this match. I think they worked really well together. Darby Allin really works well when coming from up and under is that like spunky baby face. Jon Moxley was great here. The coffin drop into the choke spot was actually really, really good.
Oh yeah, this match is great.
And then the avalanche DDT from the second rope. JR sold that as like, he broke his neck or something like that.
I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that. Commentary was just like Jon Moxley basically just like murdered this man. But I did think the match was really cool. I like the top rope or like the avalanche Death Rider.
Moxley picks up the win, which it continues his climb up the standings. And even in a loss, I don't think it hurts Darby Allin at all. I think Absolutely that he came out looking up roses as well. So, yeah, this is one of their best singles like main events in a while, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm concerned because they're burning through a lot of matches.
Oh, yeah. I think since, they have like these quarterly pay-per-views, I don't think like they're just trying to keep stuff interesting, but it's just like at the detriment of stuff going on going forward. And we're already getting a lot of rematches after like just a month of television. So, yikes!
We got Pac and Hangman Page 3 times already. We're getting Pac versus Kenny Omega twice. Like it's they got to figure it out. They got to kind of like lengthen that roster too, because 6 months down the road, you're going to see every single possible match combination, and you're going to be like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
But going into that, we're going, to kind of finish it out. We got to talk about NXT. This NXT, where anything can happen. Anything.
The greatest episode of NXT in a while.
Just madness. And I know people are going to complain, okay, they're from the main roster. NXT is the main, is a brand. You can't say a brand with Tommaso Ciampa, Io Shirai, Shayna Baszler, Adam Cole, just to name a few, Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, is developmental anymore. It's not. You know what I mean? Like, it's its own brand. And I liked how, people like Becky Lynch, who came back, like Shinsuke Nakamura, Ricochet, The Revival, they all had NXT history. Like, even Nikki Cross or, Kairi Sane, everybody who had a purpose here, like, they all had history with NXT. I thought that was brilliant. So what do you think was the match of the night to you?
Match of the night? Man. It definitely has to be probably... Damn, do I... I'm going to go with Becky Rhea, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go with Revival and the Undisputed Era. They gave that match time.
Yeah, they gave that match a lot of time. This definitely makes up for the Revival crying and being big babies about not being part of the Survivor Series match. Yeah, man. The Revival, give them a really good team and Full Sail, and they'll go crazy.
25 minutes. It was basically a takeover match that they gave us.
Yeah. That match was fantastic.
Yeah, I really like Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley, too. Rhea has, they're putting a rocket on her, and justifiably so. She's been put, the spot that she put in, like, basically challenging Shayna and kind of being, like, the equally powerful wrestler. She's just basically taken that ball and ran with it. I think we both experienced that it was going to be a double DQ. There was going to be a no finish. You got to, like, protect both of them.
Going into both of their respective pay-per-views. If Rhea and Shayna are in a one-on-one title match and Rhea does not leave the building champion, man, the egg on our face, man.
How many times have we said that, Shayna's going to drop the title and she hasn't?
But this push is, like, abnormally strong, especially, like, with main roster people getting involved.
She's been on the main roster enough where, like, and had this build up with Becky that I want to see it more, but I want to see it more on Raw. Like,
yeah. Dog, get Bianca and Shayna out of there, man.
I know.
Paul, do your magic.
So it was actually supposed to be Matt Riddle and Kona Reeves, but it was not to be. You're not high on Kona Reeves?
Man, we were robbed from a really good Kona Reeves match from this jobber Ricochet.
Oh, wow. I think Kona Reeves teased that he was going to be on NXT UK soon. So,
oh, for real?
Yeah.
All right, man. Him and Cassius Ohno go bang.
But Matt Riddle and Ricochet, it was a fun sprint. Like you said, like Justin over at the A Show said that he was concerned that Matt Riddle was taking a lot of pins. I think it was right for him to get that win here. It seemed like I want to see a longer Ricochet and Matt Riddle match, but even in post-match, it seemed like everybody was attacking Matt Riddle. You had Roderick Strong attacking Matt Riddle. You had Nakamura come and try to attack him. And then Finn Balor.
Yeah, literally everybody came in to, like, beat up Matt Riddle. And I think, despite all the losses he's taken, he looks, resilient in that brawl, especially like with Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura there. So he's looking real good going into War Games and maybe Survivor Series.
Yeah, I think it's a surefire bet that he's going to be a part of the Survivor Series team. I mean, if they're not putting, the three of the Forgotten Sons, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think they're waiting to see who survives that War Games match. Other than going in, and then picking people from there and maybe people from the Triple Threat, but Undisputed Era, I mean, they've been. Give these guys a rest. Give these guys a rest, please.
These men have been all around the world, and now you got to go into War Games and Survivor Series. Like Adam Cole as well, just like give that man a rest. There's no reason why he should have been in that ladder match.
So we had Kaylee Ray and Dakota Kai. I thought it was a cool sprint as well. It didn't go too long. If you wanted to, Dakota Kai taking another pin. Like, let's get her some wins. So like Kaylee Ray won. There was a big post-match angle with Carmella, Dana Brooke, Sonya Deville, Mandy Moore. Then Bianca, Tegan, Io, and Candice comes out. Sarah Logan comes out. Kari saying Kari and Io had that cool interaction, but Sarah saved us from that. And then Nikki Cross comes and cleans house with that trash can lid. What do you think about Nikki Cross standing tall, real quick?
I don't know. Because she's really like they've been really pushing the hell out of Nikki Cross, which is cool. Like I think Nikki Cross is a great wrestler, but her cleaning house here. Do we see SmackDown taking it at Survivor Series? I forgot our predictions on the A show.
Yeah, you know what?
Because NXT needs a win.
NXT needs a win somewhere. I don't know, like Dana Brooke victorious. You know what I mean? Like they kicked the hell out of her and Carmella kicked the hell out of Dakota Kai. By the way, I don't know. We'll see.
She just can't get a win, man. But I think Dakota Kai is gonna come soon, man. Her time is gonna come.
Like, come on, like. Enough of like the kid sister stuff with her. Like let's get her one, Mm-hmm. So to finish it all out, we had Viking Raiders come back as well. They fought against the Forgotten Sons. We had the obligatory spot where Jackson Riker interferes in plain view and then gets thrown out. What are they doing with that?
I'm not high on this match, man. I know a lot of people were just like, no, the match was actually pretty good, but it's just like I just can't get behind the Forgotten Sons, especially if Riker's just going to keep doing the get himself disqualified or like barred from ringside thing. Like if you're going to have a match with the Forgotten Sons, like just have it be a trios match.
Yes, on this NXT show, they are not forgotten, even though the Viking Raiders took the win. Mm-hmm. So the main event. Adam Cole versus Donovan Dijakovic. Adam Cole took a massive chokeslam onto a ladder here, and I'm like, watching the match, I'm like, yo, this guy has 2 more matches to round out the weekend. He has a War Games match, which is gonna be brutal. You know what I mean? He's in there with Keith Lee and Donovan again. And he also has an NXT title match against the winner of that triple threat. I'm like, woo! This guy is he's earning money.
And he's gonna he might make an appearance on SmackDown, so he's gonna have to do like some extra stuff.
Give that man a raise. This guy's got a fracture in his wrist and still working. Just a damn workhorse. I like that, he targeted Donovan's leg. There's 2 weeks of massive ladder spots. Donovan basically falling on the ladder bridge, and then Mia, she's falling on the ladder bridge as well, just eating the ladder bridge.
Eating the ladder to the face.
Yeah. A lot of injuries, too, but it's, Adam Cole gets the win here. They get the advantage. Huge ending angle that happens at the end. Drew McIntyre comes in. He takes out Dijakovic. Then